Hi everybody. I thought I'd make a quick YouTube video to talk about a project I've been working on and just kind of finished. I think it could be useful both to recreate for some people and as a general reference for expansion. So the problem is I'm going to college and I don't want to bring my PC. So I want to be able to remote desktop access my PC because I have a lot of code, a lot of like sample things, and just some files that I want to be able to access in case I need them. But the problem is remote desktop only works if the PC is already on. So I would have to just leave my PC on for some 8 months while I'm in college away, if at any point I wanted to access it. So the problem is I need to be able to remotely from anywhere in the world turn on my PC so that I can access it through remote desktop. Now, there are certain ways to do this. Like I think there's something called Wake on LAN, which is like you can port forward your router. So you like literally go through the firewall and send. It's just like programmatically. You do it with like with software. But I didn't want to go through that because then you have to kind of you make your home network a little bit less secure by port forwarding. So I decided to just do it very simply with a servo. So now I'll give you a quick demo of how it works. And this can also be kind of arbitrarily expanded. So it's just, you can use this as reference for how to control a servo using an Arduino with Siri. So anywhere in the world, you can send a Siri command, which will control an Arduino, which controls the servo. So now we're under my desk for a quick demo on how it works. So first we'll go, all right, here we go. Turn off my PC. Okay, so this diagram should give a basic idea of how the architecture works. So first, Siri will make a Siri shortcut, sends a message up to a web server that we'll create. This means that Siri could be anywhere in the world and it'll send a message to this web server. Then the NodeMCU, which is the little computer that runs that moves the servo, is constantly making queries to this web server, and if it sees a new message is created, then it'll move the servo. So that's just an idea of how all the systems will work together, and we'll start with designing the physical actuation of the setup. Okay, so this is probably the easiest part of the build, and your mileage certainly will vary as different PCs work in different ways, but I was able to just buy a little cheap 9-gram hobby servo. These are like $5 for a pack, and then it comes with this little arm, and then this is just hot glued on. And then the servos are, or the wires are connected to a breadboard back here, which is just stuck on. Okay, so this diagram isn't great, but it'll give you an idea of how the circuit works. It's really quite simple. You have 5 volts. So I actually took, any old, most power blocks that you get for digital devices give out 5 volts. So I just have it literally plugged into my wall with a 5 volt, like an Apple charger block. And then you just strip the wire and out comes 2 wires. So 5 volts, 5 volt rail. And then that powers the little mini computer, the NodeMCU. And so positive is connected to V in and the negative is connected to the ground. And then you have your servo, which is, it's positive connected to the positive 5 volts, negative connected to the negative. And then the servo, the actual signal wire, which is usually, like on mine, it was yellow, is connected to the D4 pin on the NodeMCU. So here's the code for making the web server. So first you need to make sure you have node.js installed. This is just what you use to write web servers in JavaScript. And then you create a new folder called your Internet of Things server and do run the command npm init. This will initialize a new npm instance, and then from there install express. That's basically the most important one. And then from there, also install body parser. Run this afterwards, same command, and then install HTTP. And then from there, here's all the code. First, we get a new instance of Express. We create our app, HTTP, body parser, and then we have a variable called command, and this is constantly stored. And so Siri will send up an HTTP request, which is like quite literally like a message over the internet that will come to this server. And so when something is posted to the slash route, then, and it's posted just in the URL, then we'll save that in this command variable, and then next time, so it's just constantly saved there until the next time when somebody calls app.get and they get just the home route, we'll just send them over the command. Once you have your code, then you can go about hosting it. I used Heroku. I frankly don't recommend them anymore. They had a horrible hack. They lost a bunch of passwords. They're not a very secure company. It's not the best product. So in general, maybe use Amazon Web Services or something like that. But generally, just get your website hosted and find your URL. Okay, so here we are in the Siri Shortcuts app. I'm going to create a new shortcut, and I'll name it Turn On PC. This is the name of the command that will, like when I say Turn On PC, it will start up. So then now I'm going to add, that's what I say to Siri. So then now I add the URL. This is where your website is hosted, and it's the URL that you use to make a post request. So it's yoururl.com / question mark equals or slash command. Yeah, I missed the question mark here. / question mark command equals, and this is like your query parameter. It's like in the URL. This is what your web server sees, and then it saves the turn on PC part in the on your server. So then we do. So first you make this URL, and then you do a. It's called a GET request, even though it's a POST request. You change it to a POST request with that drop down, and then I just added a little thing that speaks, and it just says turning on PC. That's pretty much it. When you run the command, it has this little pop-up window. Make sure you
turning on PC.
And there you go. Then it. Okay, so there we go. That's about all I have for you today. This is a pretty good platform that you could expand upon. Controlling a servo with Arduino and Siri could be a huge kind of avenue for expansion. There's lots of different things you could do. And this is also a helpful solution for me and maybe for other people who have the same problem and don't want to port forward their router. So I hope you enjoyed. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And all the code and everything you might need hopefully is in the description, or leave a comment and I will respond. Cool. Thanks. Have a good day.